Now, everybody knows stress is affecting you and almost everybody. But in what way? We know that stress is going to be harmful, stress is going to affect you, stress is going to affect your mind and your body. But how? So, this video is for that. So, let me tell about stress first. Stress is something which strains your thinking and thoughts beyond the comfort zone. Now, this stress can be domestic stress at home, it can be corporate stress, job related, or it can be some individual personal stress. The major cause of stress nowadays is more of a corporate stress because most people prefer to be in corporate jobs. But then the individual stresses and the stress of an entrepreneur or a businessman also have a very bad effect on their health. So let us precisely discuss how stress is affecting your health. Now, first and foremost is the biggest killer of the world. It is a heart disease. Now, how stress affect your health and cause heart disease? When you are in stress, you release few kind of neurotransmitters. Especially, they are the something like emergency or something like the tension hormones like adrenal corticoids and adrenalines. These hormones pace up the cardiovascular system. So it can increase the heart rate, increase the heart demand, and suddenly increased heart demand can put a lot of pressure on heart, and due to which heart can gradually get weaker and weaker. Also, this precipitate cholesterol, increase of cholesterol and cholesterol deposition, as well as there is an element of increase of blood sugar and blood pressure. All this collectively is damaging your heart, and this leads to heart attacks and other kind of heart diseases like arteriosclerosis, that is a blockage of the coronary arteries. So heart disease is on the top of all the diseases caused by stress. So beware, this is the number one killer. So try to manage stress as better as possible. So this was number one. Second is actually all kind of psychosomatic diseases originate somewhere in stress. But let us specify what next this is. Next is asthma. The chronic effect of being in a stress or being suppressed is that body's immune system becomes hypersensitive. And asthma is the result of that hypersensitivity of your immune system. This can be allergic asthma or it can be a chronic asthma which has a non-allergic component. Another thing which is very, very important I want to tell is that the stress in an early childhood usually leads to asthma, and therefore childhood asthma is getting very common nowadays. The third important factor, a mega disease, which I want to focus is obesity. The obesity has a very typical psychology. Usually, it is not about all, but 80 to 90% patients are having some kind of stress or some kind of fears and insecurities. Just yesterday, I saw a patient of 148 kgs. When I inquired how she became 148 kgs, the response was that after the death of husband, the fear and insecurities were there, and this lot of fear and insecurities usually try to cover up or mask by accumulating extra fat. Now, this extra fat obviously leads to obesity, and the origin is in mind, and we are exercising with the body to get rid of this extra fat. And therefore, you must have seen corporates, especially the higher rank, who are more into the mental work, who are more into stress, are usually obese. The high rank in company, usually you will find a tummy coming out, and the obesity is the major problem. Again, obesity will further contribute for heart disease, and this will add to your danger. Now, another disease which comes very, very, very common nowadays is diabetes. Yes, diabetes is a direct result of the increasing stress, and therefore, as stress is becoming more and more common, diabetes is becoming more and more common. Among diabetes, there is diabetes type 2 and type 1. So type 2 diabetes can be more directly related with stress. Type 1 with not simple stress. Type 1 happens because of a shock to immunity. There is a certain shock to immunity, and this shock throws the immune system to complete disturbance, and then this autoimmunity causes destruction of the pancreatic beta cell and destruction of or reduction of insulin, and this gives rise to type 1 diabetes. Another thing which is very, very common is mental health problems. See, anxiety and depression, as if they have become the rule of the game. If you are in a job or a corporate job, you always carry an anxiety that will you be affected by downsizing, or are you next victim of the layoffs, or job itself lead to so much kind of stress that you may become very anxious, very particular, very meticulous about even unnecessary things, can lead to generalized anxiety disorder, GAD. So initially this anxiety starts with job, at the job, and then it is generalized to all different kinds of the circumstances and leads to GAD, generalized anxiety disorder. Now next most, the counterpart of this is depression. Now depression can be again hazard, very dangerous thing. Just yesterday, again, no, not yesterday, just today. Today morning I have seen a post in the group which talks about depression. That there was a post that this is I don't want to live and this is my last day and here is my last post and full stop, and he was gone. And people were shocked. They were shouting and yelling. They will say, call me, call me. Somebody who's a friend is calling him, and then it was over. I don't know, but they concluded that he's probably no more. Now depression can be the biggest killer. So please see that whether you are individual or a corporate, or whether you are on a higher rank or lower rank, please manage stress well. Not just a temporary stress management. Oh yeah, I did a motivational event and I'm feeling very motivated for 2 days. Doesn't count. There are 365 days in a year. If 2 days you are super motivated, it doesn't count. Do some activities or get involved in such programs which will affect this stress removal or depression reduction for a long span. Then it will help you reverse the bad health effects of stress. Another thing which I want to point is about the gastrointestinal problems. Now this is again a huge volume. You must have seen that the biggest result of a simple stress is acidity. Now this acidity gets complicated to acid peptic disorders, then leads to peptic ulcers, stomach ulcers, intestinal ulcers. Then it leads to the commonest problem of nowadays is irritable bowel syndrome. Irritable bowel syndrome is directly related with anxiety, and hence getting more and more common nowadays. And once these problems are appearing, there happens to be another extreme of the problem, and this extreme is frequently appearing Crohn's disease and ulcerative colitis. They are also related with stress. It has been proven that the ulcers caused in intestine have a direct relation with the stress. Now I am coming to the king of the disease jungle, and this king is cancer. Cancer have been proved beyond doubt to be related to mind and stress and the past life means past conflicts. Suppose somebody have faced conflict 2 years back, 5 years back, 10 years back, and he has carried that conflict in mind, there are more chances that he will develop a bigger disease in future. Bigger disease like cancer. Psycho-oncology is a new subject coming up, which talks about the effect of mind and stress in creating cancer. And therefore, we are seeing increasingly many of the people who are long time stressed get the symptoms of cancers and they're diagnosed as cancer, and they are treated with chemotherapy and radiotherapy. So it is not about the individual problem. Let me tell the basis why I am doing this. I want most of the corporate leaders to see this video. I want most of the regional managers and managers to see this video. I want those who are having a CSR, a corporate social responsibility, to see this video. I know you happen to see that CSR as doing some social service. My dear friends and dear sirs, please start this social service at your company first. Your employees are suffering from stress. Your employees are struggling from stress. Your employees are absent more days than productively present. So the increasing absenteeism, reducing productivity is actually hurting you, hurting a corporate, hurting a big entrepreneur more than anybody else. If somebody have a 10 crore company, he will be hurted less by stress than somebody who is in 1000 crore company. So why not to work for your employees? Why not to work? Why not to do a something long lasting for your employees? Not just a 1 or 2 hour motivational seminar, and then they are pumped up and super excited for 1 or 2 days, and then the motivation goes down and back into the slum. They become as normal as ever. So let us vow that we will do something for stress. If you have a company, or if you have employees, or if you have a huge team, it is your moral responsibility to do something for the team. And what to do something? To do something substantial. Substantial means something which will lead to their actual stress relaxation. Let me tell you another thing which women definitely will not like, but this is the fact. Stress causes premature aging. You start looking older. Now, who among you wants to look older? Nobody. And if somebody is a lady who is listening to this video, she will say, "Oh no, never." But stress makes you older. So do something to get out of this stress. Stress will be of two kinds: eustress and distress. Eustress is a good stress which motivates you to do a better work. Distress is a stress which is a negative stress and causes all these bad impacts on your health. So premature aging means when you look older than what you are, is one of the bad, or I can say cosmetically the worst kind of effect of the stress. Another cosmetic problem: hair falls, graying of hairs, all can be contributed hugely by the amount of stress. One more thing, which is more drastic, more tragic, and a biggest danger: stress can cause sudden death. Yeah, it can cause premature death. Whatever life you are destined to be there. I have seen a 28-year boy suddenly dying of heart attack. I have seen 32-year male suddenly dying of a heart attack. Why? Because of the huge amount of, in both the cases, the culprit was the huge amount of corporate pressure. Now, corporate pressure can kill, but corporates themselves can save their employees' life. So the purpose of this video is that somebody like a corporate employee corporate bosses should watch this, because if this is seen by a corporate employee, what best he can do, he can share with friends. You can too. Then he can share with his bosses. He can share with his company groups. And I'm sure if you are seeing this and if you feel responsible that you should contribute to somebody's life, you will do it. So if you like this video, please like and share this. But what more I want from this, somebody watching this, is that I want the corporate bosses, the higher ranked people, the managers, the regional managers, and the area managers, and the CEOs to see this video. So if you are one of them, great. I say thank you from bottom of my heart, because you are one who care for your team and employees, and therefore you are watching this video. Also, you yourself need something called as a stress buster, right? So you have two tasks: save yourself from stress. One. Another important task you have is that save your team from this stress. If you have a team, if you have a group, and if you have some subordinates, you can help them. And we are into the corporate change work, which can change the perception and which can change the way you think about a work. So stress automatically goes down. It is not a 1 or 2 days action or 1 or 2 days stress buster. No, not like that. Because if you motivate, it stays for 2 days. If you change the perception completely, it may stay forever. So we are going to bring something like this, something called as the stress change makers. We are the stress change makers. So we will reprogram your mind to look differently at your job. And once you look differently at your job, where is stress? You will love it. You will love your job. You do the same job with lots and lots of fun. So stress can kill, better be smart and kill the stress before it kills you. Thank you, my dear friends. Thanks for watching this video. I'm sure you are going to share this to maximum people. And if you want to see these videos, such kind of videos, please like my channel, subscribe my channel, and press the bell icon so that whatever video I post first comes to you. Thank you. Thank you, friends. Bye bye.